It's kind of unnerving because the kids on the show, I don't know how old they are in real life, but on the show, they're in high school and shit. This dude's like 80. So it would be illegal to say the least. Although in Canada, I don't know. Maybe there's no age of cassette in Canada.
I wish I knew at that point.
Really, because we were up there a few weeks and he probably could have knocked the bottom out. Who would you have on that show?
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Really? You want to know? Like, yeah.
Grab your repellent. We're going down the rabbit hole again, y'all. We're going to be talking about Silent Bob and Jay and the deleted scenes, the behind the scenes, the extras, and whatever hell kind of commentary this is. So, hope y'all enjoy. Oh, before we get into the video, I don't know why I look so orange, and I don't know why my lips look so, like, dead and cold and blue, but I just tried to do something new that's, like, neither here nor there, bro. Whatever, bye!
We've been around. You know us, and we know you.
Dick and fart jokes.
Total dick and fart joke action.
Yes.
And well, we did the cleanest
So
thing
loud,
we've ever
Jesus
done,
Christ.
in any media, TV or film, when we popped up on these episodes of Degrassi, and it's very hard to curse because sometimes you just want to turn to Craig and be like, "You sucker," but you can't because it's a TV show, and also in Canada,
They're children.
which is really disconcerting for me when I go up there because I'm like, I just want to meet a cocksucker, and they're like, "Well, what's that?" And then you got to explain it, and they're like, "Oh,
Plus, they're all underage.
Yeah,
kids, and
they are. This was really weird.
trouble.
Yeah, we could have gotten
So I
trouble.
wanted to be dirty too.
This was, it was honestly so crazy that the people who work on Degrassi just in general were like, no, yeah, this collaboration makes so much sense. And not to mention, he's in like a freaking Canadian drip or whatever the heck. 100%. Like, does it say like Ottawa boy? I can't even tell. It's like really fuzzy. The quality is of its time, that's for sure. What the hell, y'all?
All the little girls, but
You did,
not really.
You did, and this is a show that we've been into for many years, going back to watching it at the Quick Stop together, pre-Clerks.
I used to spank to Caitlin.
Did you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
Where?
encouraged it to.
I did never. I
in the
fucking
cooler?
spanked to a fictional character. I'm not that desperate.
In the cooler.
Spanked him.
Why is this included as an intro rant? This is 7 minutes way too long, babes.
Not to a fictional character. Unless Stacey Mistetian had done a full nude pictorial, then I would have spanked to that, but not to the TV episodes because she was a little
She
kid.
might have.
She might have because,
Recently.
her career has been up and down, so she might have done some real low-rent porn at one point. We're still trying to hunt.
Oh my god, can you... Someone genuinely needs to track, I believe her name is Stacy, the girl that plays Caitlin Ryan. Someone needs to track her down and see how she felt on this day because, wow, this is... What the hell is this? I'm sorry if this is also kind of giving, like, reactionary content. They be copywriting my shit up, book, so we're trying to do a little something, so... We'll be adding a little both of, like, from last time and this. So, sorry for the little rant. I just want to let you know unless you're like, what the hell is... This is crunch. This is crunch. I don't like this. Oh, also, if y'all catch and peep the room, we are in... I know. We're in... What's that one girl's name that everyone tries to... Oh, we're in Claire's room, but... It was before Claire turned into Claire. This was when she was still, like, Darcy's little sister in, like, the little, like, nunnery outfit and stuff. I, like, actually edited them, like, out. She was, like, sitting on the bed reading a book and stuff. But, we're just chilling. We're just waiting. Even though that sounded like the creepiest thing I've ever fucking said. But, cozy vibe. Anyways, let's get back to the hot mess and poor objectification of Caitlin Ryan.
Down on eBay. So we popped up on Degrassi and had a really good time playing ourselves and then playing, Jay and Silent Bob as well. But there is this kind of creepy undertone to the episodes where you're like really into the young girls, which I think is kind of funny. They let it ride in the episodes too. It was a little bit of a struggle, but they did let it ride. And it was kind of...
So they even acknowledged that shit was pretty weird of them to do, but they're still doing it. And they're like, I'm surprised they kept it in. was running Degrassi at this time genuinely needs to be studied because this was such a self-insert and like nobody needed this and
But it was kind of unnerving because the kids on the show, I don't know how old they are in real life, but on the show they're in high school and shit. This dude's like 80, so it would be illegal to say the least. Although in Canada, I don't know, maybe there's no age at cassette in Canada.
I wish I knew at that point.
Really, because we were up there a few weeks and he probably could have knocked the bottom out. Who would you have fucked on that show?
Really?
Yeah.
I know.
Really? You want to know? Like, yeah.
Well, me saying sort of, I don't know if that's right, because now that they'll see it and they'll be like, "Well, he's creepy."
But you're talking about fictional
The
characters.
characters.
Yeah, it's different than.
these are real actors
The moral
though.
compass kicks in at weird times in your life where you're like, I don't know if that's right.
I don't feel right about this.
Who do you think you would have banged?
Oh, yeah.
You know, she has a cutting problem, right?
You put them into
She
that.
cut really? You
I'm
dig
into
that?
little choking.
What? Oh.
So they took out who he said, but spoiler alert, if y'all are a Degrassi head like the rest of us, he's talking about fucking Ellie. Like, the fact they edited her name out, but they kept in like one of her major plot arcs, like, brother, this guy is fucking weird. Someone needs to genuinely look into a little bit of how much he likes Degrassi, because what the hell?
Creepy. Wait a second. Cutting problem is not choking. Like somebody who cuts themselves because they're dealing with emotional issues ain't the same
Well,
as
I take
somebody.
advantage of that.
Would you?
Oh, yeah.
It's just crossed into a
I
very
prey on the
disturbing
weak, sir.
territory. Do you really? Predator? Interesting. That's Spike's
You know
baby.
what? Honestly, all of them probably.
Really?
I don't care.
No list? No, there's no line where you're like, well, not
If they're into it, I'm down.
really?
Like, there's no effort into it, and they just were all like, "Come on."
So the ideal episode of Degrassi for you would have just been a total fuck fest.
Just me in the girls' locker room, just all in the shower.
No plot, just like, what?
Ew! Sorry to mean to yell.
Really? That's
No.
pretty.
I just want to slap the fucking ponytail off
I don't
of
think
him.
it would have ever aired. But we probably could have done it for the unrated edition had they been down with it. But again,
Oh my god, my hair is the same color as the curtains.
but we're talking about fictional characters.
Yeah.
Still creepy with the choking. Unrated. So enjoy these episodes because we enjoy the fuck out of making them. You can say fuck on this DVD. And boy, oh boy, it's kind of fun. If you ever wondered, hey, would those dudes be funny at all if they weren't cursing? Now you get to see. And what you'll see is, no. Without the crutch of vulgarity, we got nothing going for us. We stop being film icons and we just become fucking scrawny,
Oh, hold on.
criminal
Timer.
fuck.
My bad, y'all. Anyways.
Nobody's interested in anything we have to say. So it was kind of an eye-opening experience for us and sobering. And I still haven't gotten over it. I deal with it in therapy all the time, where I'm like, wow, I discovered I'm far less than I thought I was.
Like the animated,
Kind of like the animated.
because we couldn't curse.
Couldn't curse in that either.
I mean, I
didn't go
liked
over
them.
too well.
I thought it was funny.
They were fun.
Where you could see the people that watched the movies, I guess, weren't
Weren't into
so
them?
into it.
You're bringing me down. I thought
I'm
people
sorry.
liked the animated series.
Why? Well, what happened then?
I don't know.
But they're gonna like it when we make the one with the curses and
with the
unrated.
cursing. Yeah.
I like it either way.
You're just so off topic.
Shut up, dude.
Alright, sorry.
Straying from the halls of
Can we talk about this later, though?
school. We should probably
should.
talk. We got to talk about that choking thing too, because
And biting? You're not into choking and biting?
Biting? What do you bite?
The neck and the nipples and.
This is the intro?
What? Just a
Alright, let's
full-on
get back
nibble?
to the yeah,
Love nibble is fine, sir, but like biting, teeth mark,
like this.
really?
Degrassi. This is great.
We fit right in. So enjoy our appearance on Degrassi, the special 3-episode DVD edition entitled Jay and Silent Bob Do Degrassi. You know what do is, right?
Do it. Yeah. I was only on 2 though, which I'm a little disappointed. I was on
Why'd
3.
you
Throw 3 of yourself, but not me.
Because we didn't need you. First episode, I have to go and scout,
like
and
I'm just
then
hanging.
yeah, but that would be what? Like I bring you on scouts with me and shit.
Yeah, we do.
I tried to represent it as real as possible, where you're just kind of this dude who chases skirt around the set.
This is so long, and for what?
And shit.
That's the character, but in real life, we'd hang out all the time.
We do hang out, but you've never gone on a scout with me, have you?
Yeah, dude.
When?
I did too.
This is so geriatric.
I think it was the 7th of June,
This
and we
was
went
back
out
in the
to-
day with the. He don't remember. He don't. He's just
I really did go on a really,
drug-induced haze.
I did go one.
You think
day
you went
with
on one?
I know I did, yeah. Because you were like, it's boring. You don't want to go, and I was like, yeah, but I have nothing else to do because I was kicking at the time. And
Oh my god.
Yeah, you may have me. I think
and you
you're
might have made me go at that point.
right. Yeah, well, I was like, I had to keep my eye on
Yeah.
shit. So really, these episodes don't reflect reality at all.
Yeah.
Particularly because I get to kiss a pretty girl. That never happens to me.
Oh my god, the running gag, the running joke, the running gag.
You could say it. It would be
can?
awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
still
awkward for me though.
Very awkward. But
Your mother.
So enjoy. Kick back. Grab some popcorn, or in the spirit of all things Canadian,
I'm gonna grab a fucking attitude is what I'm gonna grab.
twofer, of Labatt's Blue, and grab some back bacon, and some. And
Okay, this looks
Tim
served.
Hortons donuts, and kick back and watch Jay and Silent Bob.
Just kidding.
do
Ew.
Degrassi. Seriously, choking? Just
Yeah. I know.
And I will say, oh, you probably can't fucking hear me. I will say, I do kind of love like the old school like formatting of the video and shit. Like I had to do some absolute like serious MacGyvering, but I got this bitch on a USB to kind of show you guys how the DVD looks with this shit, because you can get it, but it is a little hard to come by, so giving you the exclusive footage, my little besties. But let's start off with the bloopers, because we're just dying to see some bloopers.
wow. I just must be the worst kisser in the world, apparently.
No, Kevin, it just.
You know what? Fuck off, because.
Ooh, so awkward, dude.
Is there any seniors up in this piece? Come on, I'm kidding. Oh wait, let me see your boobs.
What the fuck?
So.
Genuinely, I can't even pause this bitch. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to like trigger anybody's gag reflex, but that shit. That was weird as fuck. Ew.
Yo, is there any seniors up in this piece?
Again, bro?
Nice ones that are sexy and horny? No? You don't need her.
The silence is
She and-
loud.
We'll get chicks. We'll get chicks. 15, 14, 13. Here, touch it. It's okay. Feels good, right?
Ew.
You bitch!
Ew. Okay, I like that one. Oh shit. Lot to unpack. That was like a quick little a lot of man, they really kept in a lot of Jason Mewes, I think is his real name, of him just reiterating how much he wanted to bang a high schooler. Canadian promo. Let's see what this is all about.
We look down, then we look up. Ask me. These promos are about this. I've seen one, and they're real dramatic. Hey, Canada.
My god, dude, someone outside with a annoying ass fucking car. Ew.
Degrassi just moved to New Jersey. Hey, Canada. Degrassi just moved to New Jersey.
What does that mean?
Shut up.
Mm.
Yeah, come in faster.
Yeah.
What a trooper.
That's us. We're trying to be
cutting
dramatic.
edge.
We go like this. We're giving you a whip, something to go with. Hey, Canada. Degrassi just moved to New Jersey.
What does that even mean?
Shut up. Go with.
Why am I looking at the camera still, though? That's
That's
fucked
what we
up.
do. Because it's the promo.
What does that mean?
We're commenting on the promo.
He's giving like angry energy, I swear.
You are so gay.
The clip I gave you on the last video.
You can say that.
No, I can't. My
I've seen
sister's
Trailer
the one who
Park
will kill
Boys.
me. I don't care.
I've seen Trailer Park Boys. I know what I'm talking about. Shut up.
Hey, Canada. Degrassi just moved to New Jersey.
And I have no idea what that means.
Say, all right, you can't say this.
Oh my god, there's like 5 minutes of this. It's 5 minutes long. Why is it so fucking long?
And action. Hey, Canada. Degrassi just moved to New Jersey.
I have no idea what that means.
You know what I mean? You gotta come in quicker.
Sorry. Yeah, and it's gonna be the next one. Sorry. Okay.
Hey, Canada. Degrassi just moved to New Jersey.
Absolutely no sense.
Would you go? It's a promo. You go with the promo. Just say it. Say it.
It's like it's like
Hey,
he's
Canada,
trying to flirt with
Degrassi
her.
just moved to New Jersey.
That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
It does if you think about it, because yeah.
And then you name it. Like he's like just like, ooh.
Slow on that one too. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, hold on. I don't know if the girlies have experienced like babes, comment down below if you've interacted with someone that is like Kevin Smith, because it just seems so fucking taxing to genuinely just try to have a conversation, or let alone be in a work environment. This dude has been such a fanatic of this show for Caitlin Ryan specifically, and I just wonder how much of a weird dynamic he's creating, because he can't be kind of not like picking on her for 2 seconds, and I'm sure people are gonna be like, well, they're poking. Yeah, but this is 5 minutes of him just being kind of a little bit of an asshole, and that could be his humor, whatever, but dude, how many times are you gonna shove it in our goddamn motherfucking face? We get it. Like, say something else. You wonder why the fucking promo was weird. Y'all keep reiterating the same thing and no one can like have a cohesive thought. Like, what is this? Ew. This was not the business, babe.
Go on action.
Wait for it,
Not
wait
on
for it.
3. Action. Hey, Canada. Degrassi just moved to New Jersey.
And I have absolutely no idea what that means.
Why would you sell out of me like that? That was a good promo.
It makes no sense.
She's not worth that much.
Shit.
Ooh.
We
Promo
did
421,
making
422, take 3.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
Mark it.
hot.
Okay.
Action. I'm sorry. I'll do it again. I was gonna say, hey, Canada. Last week we made out. What are we gonna do this week?
You call what we did making out?
I do. It was hot. You didn't like it?
Enough.
I gotta tighten it up.
What we did last week making out.
You call what we did last week?
Last week we made out. What are we gonna do this week?
You call what we did last week making out?
I do, as a matter of fact. That's as good as it gets with me. I'm sorry. Oh, like your breath was great.
Oh!
Another?
Whoa, dude. This is so...
Last week we made out. What are we gonna do this week?
You call what we did last week making out?
You
Whoa. This has gone on for way too long. Like I said before, you can make the argument that he's Cheeto break. You genuinely can make an argument that he's just doing the acting thing, but I don't know. There's something. If that business is true, if you left Taylor Ryan's in the hood, that's sick to my stomach, fam. Anyways, We only have a couple more like minutes left of this. I'm so sorry to put y'all through. But, you know.
Last week we made out. What's we gonna do this? What's we gonna do this?
What we gonna do?
Want Nuki on. All right, ready? Last week we totally made out. What are we gonna do this week?
You call what we did last week making out?
I do, as a matter of fact. God, that's hurtful. That is really hurtful.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
One more.
That was weird. She said, I don't know what I did there.
Last week Kevin and Caitlin make out, but what are they gonna do this week?
You call what we did last week making out?
God, you're so hurtful. I do call it making out. What do you mean? Made out. Okay, my bad. Last week, Kevin and Caitlin made out. What are they gonna do this week?
You call what we did last week making out?
I do, as a matter of fact. God, you're hurtful. Hurtful. Tune in.
Exhausting, ladies and germs. I don't know what can be said that hasn't already been said other than Gad motherfucking Zooks, holy garbanzo beans.
All answer, only move.
Moose, what's the chance of you writing in a kissing scene without the laundry?
Just because we're up here doesn't make it any different than down below. It's still a little.
That intro rant seems a little different with this scene. Whoa, best year of our lives. Let's get into it. These two y'all saw in the other video, but you know, it's a part of the extra scene or sequence, so I'm...
As president of the most popular dude, you understand my surprise at our Yankee friends here beating me for a valedictorian.
Excuse me, sir. Not that you ate past, okay. Yo, Edmund Fitzgerald Secondary, me and Lunchbox would like to thank you Canadians for treating us like one of you guys. Y'all talk stupid, but you have good beer. It's amazing.
Let me just add at that point that be it your blizzard.
I'm really... He talked! He freaking talked! Why did I think this movie was real as a child? I was like, Tom, I gotta catch the fleet.
You made me and my fallen hetero life mate here feel like a big part of your home and native land, and made it the best fucking year of our lives. Woo! Woo!
It's so quiet. Genuinely, it was so quiet. They said, woo, yeah. It's like graduation. Ugh. So, at the beginning of my last video, we put this at the very beginning of it, right? And this is a 30-fucking-1-minute interview. Fast forward if you need to, babes. Totally understand. Put this shit on 2x speed. But I know he's gonna say some interesting things. I just skimmed through it. I have not seen this in its full entirety at all. I'm gonna be watching it with my babies right now in real time. So I apologize if you need to get out of here, if this was just so annoying. Thank you for watching. Love you. But if you are gonna continue the ride, buckle up because it's gonna get really weird really quick. I'm 98% sure.
Geeked out, very fanboy and stuff, and I never feel like that. Like, you know, I kind of lost my luster for the things that I was really passionate about in youth. Like, you know, we mixed a movie up at Skywalker Ranch, and I was like, whatever. It wasn't like we're here at Mecca, but this is kind of like coming to Mecca, you know. And it's very, very strange. And we sit in the read through, and people are saying your name. And they're, you know, people, like actors who are playing characters, you know, they're like, oh my God, that chick just said Kevin Smith, and it was Manny Santos. You know, stuff like that is really, it makes you feel a little weird, and so.
But at your big grown age, that shit shouldn't make you that giddy. I understand you're a really big fan. I get it. But it's also kind of giving like, hey, fellow kins, like that, whatever the freak that one thing is from.
Totally thankful for like career I've had thus far that afforded me the opportunity to do it, right? Because otherwise I'd be a dude sitting in a convenience store in Jersey watching the next generation going, I wish I could be on that. So it kind of panned out for me. It feels like everything I've done thus far led to this moment. You know, like I made 6 movies just so I could get on Degrassi for 3 episodes. The really sad thing is like when it ends, I'm gonna be lobbying Skylar with phone calls, going like, "Can I? I should come back, right? Because we'll need to shoot a Jay and Silent Bob sequel to the movie within the show. Just
And they
come back
never
and teach me."
did because it probably
I've
was
been
received
trying to get into the show
badly.
pretty bad. It's really strange when they were shooting the pilot, they had said, "Hey, do you want to do like a walk on?" Because I've been a pretty ardent fan and written articles. So I wanted to do it, and
Let's
then I
give them a
reached out to someone
part,
else so I couldn't
said
do it.
no
But I
one.
remember thinking like, "Oh man, why would you fuck with perfection? Don't go back and touch something that was so perfect, so wonderful, and doing a next
It's like he
generation. Not a
saw
good
what he,
idea."
like he saw.
Um, and it wasn't until like just earlier this year that I finally caught up with the show. I'd watched that pilot, the mother and child reunion pilot, and I was like, "Oh, it's awesome. At least they brought in the older characters." But then I was like, maybe they're going to let them go and just kind of use that as a transitional thing, and suddenly it's going to be all about these new kids who I didn't care about. Yeah. So we got this website, and somebody on my web board posted like, "Did anyone see yesterday's Degrassi? It's kind of like a Breakfast Club homage where they're all in detention." And I was like, "Well, how did you see it? Were you Canadian?" They're like, "No, it's on this station Noggin, the N, in the States." So I had TiVo, and I was like, I had no idea the show was on. I'm gonna check it out. It's Breakfast Club.
Bitch, I forgot about TiVo. That shit was. One was like, I gotta get home. I got a TiVo fucking Grey's Anatomy or whatever the hell was on.
Sounded kind of cool. And fell in love with it instantly. It was just like, oh my god, this is actually pretty good. Like I was so worried, and I told Skylar when I called her up, I was like, I think I really thought that the show might be a bad idea, but I think it's actually better, than the original. Because for me, it's the best of both worlds. It's like taking all the characters, the primary characters that I loved from the first show, putting them into a new show, and bringing in kids who are all new and who are also interesting. That was always the fear, right? That maybe like as a longtime fan of the old one, I wouldn't give a shit about the kids, but like the kids became as interesting as the adults, and they balance it really well. So it holds. It not only does it holds up, it really does kind of surpass.
I
It gets
mean,
to
the kids should always be a focal point because guess what? It's about a kid. It's about the kids. It's about children, dude. It's not supposed to be about the adults. The adults are a side point. It's a show about the youth. I can't even talk.
where like it took 25 years of evolution, and this is it. It's an insanely well-oiled machine, and it just stands to reason that like seems to be the year that the press kind of attaches themselves to it. Like it's become breakout. When you've been written up in the New York Times, and when Entertainment Weekly does like 3 pages on you, you have arrived. And it seems like all these stars
Yes, when
align.
EW says I made it, bitch, I made it. Oscar, write my shit up. I think he works at
Even that
Entertainment.
25 years of history.
Think so? Yeah.
But it's they're still maintained like their manifesto from the
And I'm
old
talking
show,
about
which is,
Oscar
like,
from like
very real and make it
Trisha's
believable.
podcast.
It's not like you're sitting there watching Beverly Hills 90210 or Dawson's Creek or any number of the WB,
Damn, this is already
youth
like
or Fox youth oriented shows.
dragging.
It's just kind of glam, and they kind of touch. If they flirt with issues, it's only flirtation really, and it's more about let's cast a cover boy or a cover girl. Like this show really deals with content, and the content is close to home. This season is insanely close to home, and it is kind of like has that Law and Order ripped from the headlines feel to it, where it's just like
He's like,
hearing about the
dude.
bracelets episode. I was like, oh my god, I read about the bracelets. That's true, So by being very true to themselves and
Yeah,
staying
George
true to
Lopez
what
did
they
episode 2, but it's not as
started
accurate
out
as y'all claiming
trying
it
to
to
do
be.
with the show.
Bad Blue, you were doing crazy shit. I don't even know how it went, but it wasn't as. It was like some girl, like definitely happened, but it wasn't like an epidemic or whatever. Let me know if I'm wrong, but like from what I've heard from people who were around at that time and were kids, they're like, no, what the hell? Like that shit was like really fabricated, so you never know.
Now, but it's all about the writing, and it's all about the performances, and it's all about just the fact that people can look at it and identify and totally watch it and be like, I recognize these people. These people are like me or like my friends. You don't really feel that when you look at a Dawson's Creek. You never look at it and go like, yeah, I know somebody just like Katie Holmes, the chick whose window I crawl into every night. It doesn't really happen like that. But you do know the kid, who
I I
who is
mean,
kind of the
who's to
class
say?
clown, who has a small dick. I knew a lot. I was that guy.
Bro, what?
I am that guy. So you recognize a lot of the characters. I think that recognition took school. When I had been watching Degrassi at the Quick Stop in Leonardo, which is where we eventually shot our first movie. And I worked on Sunday mornings, and at 11 o'clock, PBS, Channel 13 down there, would run an hour-long block of Degrassi Junior High and then Degrassi High. So I
Damn.
didn't have cable there, and I only had the basic 13 channels. And so at that point, nothing else was on. And so I was like, well, I've never seen the show. And at first, you're just like, it's so strange. It's like a soap opera. And then by the third week, you're just hooked. And I'm a continuity freak, and there's the show's all about continuity. They reference back to the things, and it's an ongoing story. So I was really hooked, and then I got Jason Mewes hooked because he'd come down on Sundays and work with me as well. So we had seen every episode. I used to videotape them as well.
So he's like
just record them.
a very serious
So
OG
I had
fan.
a homegrown Degrassi collection that was spotty and all over the place and missing some episodes. So when I went to film school up in Canada, up in Vancouver, I was living in a house with these two dudes. One of the dudes' name was Ken, one of my roommates. And one night we were cooking something in the kitchen at the same time. And I just kind of hit him with like, "Hey, did you ever watch Degrassi, this teen show?" Oh no, what it was I was going to go to they had in the BC Place in Vancouver. They were having this expo thing called Movie Magic, and they were having the kids from Degrassi, come and sign. So I was like, I'm totally going to this thing. And he asked me, Ken's like, what are you doing tomorrow? I said, I'm going to this autograph signing by these kids who used to be on the show that I really loved called Degrassi Junior High. And he was like, Degrassi? You had Degrassi down in the States? I was like, yeah, we used to get on PBS. Like, I was total Degrassi whore. And he was just like, I was a total Degrassi whore. This dude was about 35. And I was like, you watched the show? He was like, dude, how can you not? It's so good. And we sat there, and him and I hadn't really even bonded before. We sat there for 2 hours just talking about Degrassi. And
Literally,
suddenly,
totally
he
agree
got
with
the
everything
signs
he's
up. It's
saying.
like, and then, of
It's
course,
good.
there's the brilliant movie.
I haven't seen the old ones
And I
either.
was like,
Ugh.
what's
I heard
this
Joey's a
about? And he was
slut.
just like, it's the movie, dude. It's the movie they did at the end of the last season where it kind of like wrapped up storylines and took it even further.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
the
There's a
movie.
2-hour Degrassi movie, dude? And we spent but the rest of my time in Canada trying to track it down. Nobody had a tape of it. So years later, when Clerks got picked up and I had some cash, the first thing I did was try to track down a full run of the series. And I called some Scholastic video house, because I guess in some schools they give it to where schools buy it and run it as a program and have class discussions about it. I was never in one of those schools. So I found this production house or this school supply place, and they were like, "Yeah, we have the entire run of Degrassi, but we don't. It's not for sale to the general public. It's more for the school system." And I was like, "Look, I'll pay above and beyond. I just want to secure this whole set." And they got me for a shitload of dough. I think they charged me like $4,000 for the run of the show on tape, which is gonna break my heart when it comes out on DVD and I could buy it for $30, but whatever. But I was like, look, does this include Schools Out? And she was like, it will throw it in. Yeah, totally. So I finally got to see Schools Out probably in 2005. And it was just like, if you were a Degrassi fan, your head fucking exploded. Because it was just like, oh my God, they're all grown up and having sex and cheating on each other. This is like even better than the show, So I was really, really hooked.
What the
And I tried to
fuck?
force it down my friend's throat going like, you have to watch
Boinkage?
this movie. It's so fucked up. Because they all have sex and cheat on each other, and they're just like, "What are you talking about?" Like, it's a Canadian soap opera. I'm like, "It's a brilliant Canadian soap. It's beyond that, transcends." And that's the thing. Like, some people kind of like, "Oh, it's just teen soap," and it's not a teen soap. It's like a really strong half hour of television. Really, really great. And there are episodes that stand for me shoulder to shoulder with episodes of Law and Order, really good episodes of The X-Files, really good episodes of The Sopranos, because it's about what moves you and what touches you, how well it plays. And some of those episodes play insanely well enough for me to be like, when I go to my grave, there'll be certain shows I remember, and I will remember Like, I'll always remember Joey Jeremiah chasing Caitlin Ryan in the rain, you know, and kind of expressing his love for her and stuff.
No, you're gonna listen to me. Joey Jeremiah spends his summer dating Caitlin. Shut up. And fucking Tessa. Oh, what ethics. What a hero. Let's have a great big hand, shall we? Big round of applause, hey? Yes, all right. Snake's got a really weird sense of humor.
Tessa Campanelli? You were fucking Tessa Campanelli?
Wait.
He said, not till I came to set, bitch. Do great, Gatsby cheer. On 3, I stole your bitch. Ah!
Love triangle, which was so insanely real.
Dude.
Greg and Annie and Ashley. Like, that was just so insanely close to home. And, you know, I've been out of high school for a while, but I totally remember. It took me right back to that place in high school where you were trying to two-time on somebody.
Talk about how bored everybody was back in the day. Motherfuckers were just fucking each other. They said, I'm so bored. Please have sex with me.
Yeah, well, my favorite, I loved Caitlin Ryan, Stacey Mistutian's character, because...
Oh, we fucking know. Man. We know.
Nothing is more heart-wrenching or touching than a really pretty girl with an ailment. And it's not like she got one leg or something. Like, it's not like an ailment where it's visible. It's like what's her, the chicken children of a lesser god, I always thought was the ideal wife or girlfriend. But
he said, I love a damsel in distress, but if she's handicapped in a physical way, I don't know. Yeah, this should have stayed in New York Wives.
Beautiful, but deaf. So you got to take care of her a little bit, even though she can take care of herself. Caitlin Ryan was epileptic, and I was just like, oh, somebody's got to take care of this little epileptic girl, you know? You just kind of fall for it. And she was also just so wonderfully high school in terms of, like, she was just trying to express herself and just trying to figure out what her beliefs were and her convictions. And oftentimes they, you know, kind of crumbled in on her and stuff. Really great character arc for her, for Caitlin Ryan. So I'm a sucker for star-crossed romance. So the stuff with her and Joey, to me, was always really great. And then on the current show, I'm a big Manny Santos fan. Like, I totally buy that character. I buy that character.
I bet.
And it helps that Cassie Steele is really, like, an insanely great child actor, you know? And then I thought she was just, like, maybe 18, 19 and just passing or younger, but she's very young. She pulled off that whole story arc at age 13, and it's, you know, that's impressive. I've worked with actors who were adults who weren't as good in that season. So I go for that. I just dig also the fact that, like, she reminds me of teenagers I've known. Not so much anymore because I don't know many teenagers anymore. But, like, I knew chicks that had abortions, and they weren't, like, guilt-racked about it. They were just like, well, I'm going to get, you know, I don't want to have a kid. So they got an abortion and life went on. And not in this callous kind of, like, well, I'll keep doing this. But just, like, there was mistakes.
Damn, he can talk. That's probably why this is like 31 minutes. This motherfucker can talk. This should have been like at tops a 15-minute interview.
It's a very realistic.
Am I crazy?
That I'm kind of drawn to. I've seen the crossover on the board of the people who like our stuff and also like Degrassi, and it's not 100%. There are definitely some people who are like, "What are you talking about?" Like, you know, I've got this bizarre audience that's made up of people who are, you know, we get, like, if we get good reviews in the mainstream press, like in the New York Times and stuff like that, you get highbrow, you know, audience. But then I've got, like, the audience that's at the other end of the spectrum, the dudes who are like, oh God, great movie, you want to get stoned with us? So they run anywhere.
You guys.
The dudes who are like, great movies, you want to get stoned, generally not, you know, down with Degrassi. Although there's a subset of them who get stoned.
How is this barely 14 minutes
in?
in?
Because life is so much simpler when you're stoned and you can watch somebody else's high school travails and stuff. So there is crossover. And then when I knew that I was going to be coming up to do the 3-episode arc, I started pimping that on the board, and you see them come out of the woodwork. And then you also have people who are like, I've never watched the show. Now I'm obviously going to watch it to see what everyone's like. Those are the people who are like, what's the big deal? Now I want to see what the big deal is.
Bitches make me
And then
tired.
people
It
who
make
are
me
like, what's the
fucking
big deal?
tired.
Obsessed with the book and suddenly into mythology.
I'm just kidding, you too.
DVD 4-season box set. So you can kind of give that to people who haven't seen it before. But it's always interesting, like to be like, I'm gonna go up to Canon and shoot 3 episodes.
This is boring.
And you'll have 2 reactions: one of like, "What's that?" and the other of like, "That is awesome." You know, I had a lot of friends who wanted to come with. My friend Brian Lynch was just like, "Dude, just bring me. Can I go? Can you find me a role? I don't even need to be on. I just want to look at the kids." He would totally geek out.
What?
More so than me.
The fuck you just say? Huh?
For me, walking around the hallways, it was just
Look at the who?
so surreal. And one of those moments where you're like, I'm so glad years ago that I made a movie in a convenience store because 10 years later it led me here, which is pretty much where I wanted to be back when I was working in the convenience store.
He said,
sitting on the
I
register at the
need
Jersey
to
convenience store,
be on a Degrassi episode if it's the last
I
thing I
wish
do.
I went to school in Canada with these
Okay.
kids. I might have made something of myself. I might have owned a used car lot one day.
Motherfucker wants to be Joey so bad.
I mean, well, first off, Degrassi came long before 90210. And while 90210 certainly has its charms in a very kind of camp, this is a view of high school through the prism of the insanely wealthy. Aaron Spelling's view of what high school was like, which is nothing like what my high school career was like. Degrassi was kind of like, let's remove the filter and just shoot. Like, it really did feel like they just went into a school and started shooting every week and then just stayed with the same characters. So there's, one is obviously sexier. It's obviously sexier to kind of do a version of high school that is more 90210-like. But it's not the one that really stands the test of time. Like, that's the one that kind of crests pretty quickly. Doing something that's more realistic is, you're always going to get better. And you're going to be remembered more fondly.
What's the gag? Why is it so boring?
I
It's
think it also
everything
kind of
it.
engenders more loyalty from a viewer because you recognize yourself in the show. Recognition factor is huge for almost anything because not everybody wants to view TV or movies as total escape. There are times for.
I'm so gonna have to cut this down.
But most people go because they want to see themselves kind of up there. They want to identify with some character. And that's why this show, I think, works as well as it does. And that's why I think it will always work better than, say, a 90210 does. Nobody ever looked at 90210 and recognized themselves, except maybe Tori Spelling. But I think people watch this show and watch the old version and the current incarnation of Degrassi and totally see themselves, totally see their friends. Maybe not with the accent not quite as strong as these kids did. Generally see themselves represented.
Okay.
I'm married to somebody who just won't chain down with Degrassi at all. Don't cotton to the show. And it makes for an odd TiVo battle because, I would TiVo episodes that I hadn't seen when I was catching up.
So was he acting like this aggressive while he was married to somebody? I'd be like, yo, what the fudge? Are you thinking about like this?
Next generation. And generally
What a
we watch
weirdo.
TV together, and I'd be like, "Can we watch Degrassi?" And she flat out no. And then I finally got her to try it out because it was really like she almost didn't enjoy it or would refuse to enjoy it because I enjoyed it so much. Kind of like anything that you like this much can't be good. And what business does a 34-year-old man have watching, a high school soap opera kind of show? So she won't go for it, no matter how much I try to get her into it. And she's one of these people like on the end, on noggin. I can't call it the end. It's so silly. On noggin, because that's what it is. They used to air Degrassi, and then after it, they would air My So-Called Life. And my wife is a huge So-Called Life fan. And I'm just like, she's like, now that's real teen drama. I'm like, they're all so pretty, and it's unreal, and it didn't last. It had no life. Like, that show got canceled, didn't make it a full season. Like, this show has been in some form of existence in many incarnations of the.
I will say that it is pretty crazy. His wife is like, fuck Degrassi. Like, no, like, I watch that show with my boyfriend and we, like, love it. Like, don't get me wrong, my boyfriend's not like, stop the fucking presses! We gotta watch Degrassi! Oh god, I made all the lights super bright now. You know what I mean? It's nothing. But that is weird. She just genuinely will not watch it because you like it so much. I wonder how he acts at home about it. He must be like frothing at the mouth every time like Manny's on screen. She's like, get that shit off my
Course
TV.
of a quarter of a century.
Oh
You're
my
gonna tell me
god.
that this show's better than this show, and like just give it a chance. It's just like everyone speaks with that damn Canadian accent, you know. So she won't have it. So I live with a non-fan, who's not like actively lobbying against the show, although that might be the next step. But she just don't get into it, and it confounds me to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna flat out divorce you unless you start enjoying the show. But you
Damn.
can't force it down somebody's throat. I don't know what it is where people kind of can't get into it. I think there may be a degree
I wonder
of
if they're still
sincerity to the
married.
show that some people
Hold
just
on.
can't get their heads around, because the show is very sincere and very genuine, and most people kind of like their TV dressed up with a laugh track in a situation that gets revolved in 22 minutes, which happens pretty much every week on Degrassi minus the laugh track. There is a situation that's resolved in 22 minutes, but it's not done with a series of bad one-liners, and it's treated authentically. There's an authenticity to the show, a sincerity to the show that seems to bug some people. With like, it's too serious, and they like their teen drama a little more sugar coated and a lot prettier. And that's the weird thing. Everyone
Alright,
always
looks
talks
like they're
about like,
married to which is like so
and it's
awesome,
this
but
weird backhanded compliment where people are like, well, the
um
kids at Degrassi,
he's like
they're
so
not all
obsessed
pretty.
with this
And
show.
it's not like it's not like the school is populated by the homeless
What was
people.
that?
It's
Oh my god, what was that one song that somebody was gonna like divorce their husband over? It was like that one song. Oh, Mambo number 5. This is his Mambo number 5.
I remember reading articles going like, that's so strange, because they're kids. They look like kids. It's not like they don't look like 35-year-olds playing kids, and that to me is the big difference. It's not so much like, oh, they're not as pretty as say a cast of 90210. People on 90210 were in their 20s when they started that show. So this show actually works with people
It's not
in
about
their
their
own age,
looks,
playing in
dude.
their own age group. So you got a 13-year-old playing a 13-year-old. And I think that kind of authenticity people don't dig, because it's tough to sit there and sexualize Manny Santos. She's 13, if you're a guy like myself who watches the show at age 34. However, you can watch 90210 and be like, I would totally do Brenda, because she's like 20 or something like that. She's legit. So I think there's that aspect of it as well.
She's legit? What the fuck, God? Ooh. This is so weird.
I think it's tough for people in that same age range to embrace it as much, because you're living it at that point. You're living in your own high scholastic version of hell. So it's tough for them
Tell
to
me about
embrace
it.
somebody else's high scholastic version of hell. But I think you're absolutely right. There are people, tweens, kids who are on their way to high school, totally dig it. If you go to that Degrassi website, heavens, it's just children, tons. And I wanted to join up, and I'm like, do I really want to be posting with a bunch of 12, 14-year-old girls? No, probably something wrong there. And it's also really enjoyed by people who are past the high scholastic experience, who kind of look at the show as a window back to that certain time. Because, for some people, I'm not one of them. I never had a problem with high school. But some people, high school was an uncomfortable period of their life. So I think the show allows them to kind of look at that period and be like, oh, you know what? I went through that. That's so weird. And now I'm beyond it, and that can't hurt me anymore. And so they kind of dig it more. I think you're right. I think that people in that age range of the character, same age range of the characters that featured in the show, have a hard time connecting.
Okay.
I saw 2 episodes of Degrassi Talks. I mean, suddenly everyone was real. Suddenly it wasn't, Snake, it was Stefan. And suddenly it wasn't Caitlin, it was Stacy. And you're like, well, no, wait. Where's the little epileptic girl? So it was. I mean, I kind of dug what it was, but it was.
Why is he
if you're
so
a
stuck
fan
on
of the
her
show,
having like
it was
epilepsy?
kind of
What the
heartbreaking
fuck?
show. It was great to see the kids, but at the same time,
How do you have such like a fucking hard on for
it was
that?
kind of like, where's the fiction?
It's so
Where's the
weird.
storyline? And that might have been a case of getting too real. Where you're actually talking to real people. It's like I don't want to see that. I want to see dramatic situations that are resolved in 22 minutes, for heaven's sake. No, there's no way they could have done the show down in the States. They've tried. They tried. I mean, I don't know if there's any truth to it, but the legend always was that Aaron Spelling tried to buy Degrassi or approached Skylar and Company about doing it down there. And God, I hope this legend is true because it's great stuff.
Oh my
Not
god.
interested. And so Spelling was like, fine. He went and created 90210. Which
So
some people
jealous
be
of
like,
everyone that gets
well,
to
he
watch
wasn't
this on like
creating
2 times
90210, so
speed.
bully for him, but it's
I'm gonna
like,
watch this in real
because they missed the boat totally. Like all I did was keep the setting and the idea that we would follow kids in a school, but they followed 6 kids, whereas opposed to Degrassi had this kind of wide breadth of characters and whatnot, and also they missed the boat completely. I remember there one 90210 had this like really a very special episode where they were like a longtime cast member, original cast member, is something serious is going to happen. He was going to kill himself. And it was a kid who had like played in the first episode. He had 2 lines or something like that, and it was handled so poorly and just so schmaltzy. And it was kind of more about let's get back to the Brenda and Dylan love story and how this suicide affects them. It was just not.
Who?
They can't do it. They couldn't do it in the States. They still can't do it in the States. Turn on the WB down the States, and you'll see what their idea of high school is, and it's not the same. So no, they couldn't have done the show down there, and they still can't do the show down there. It took the noggin to import this show for them to have a show that approximates the show, which is the actual show. I went to this thing in British Columbia at BC Place, I think it's called, the stadium where they used to play indoor football. When indoor football was, I don't even know if it still exists, but at that time they were like, indoor football rules. Really? So they did the signing there, and I took Scott Mosier, who I just met. I was in film school in Vancouver at the time, and I just met Scott Mosier, who would go on to become my producer for the last decade. And he was Canadian, he was dual citizen, but he kind of grew up in Canada, in Port Moody. And I was like, dude, I'm totally going to the Degrassi signing and stuff. You want to go? And he was just like, the Degrassi, the kids show? And I was like, yes, because they're all going to be standing there signing. I got to get my picture taken with Caitlin Ryan. And so the whole
So
time,
you
Aaron
the shit.
mocked me incessantly, and stood in line with me and mocked me incessantly. Took my photo with Stacy, and he mocked me incessantly. And then afterwards, he took a picture of me as kind of an afterglow photo, because I was kind of geeked out at that point, geek orgasm.
He said
And,
Degrassi
mocked me
hi.
incessantly, up until the moment when I told him
Feet
for
like
about
this and
10,
shit.
12 weeks, until I was like, I'm gonna go up and be in Degrassi as myself, and he was just like, you know what, that's pretty cool. So finally,
That's
over a decade
so
later,
metal
he
of you,
kind of like,
Kevin
all right,
Smith.
your fandom paid off. Yeah, he did see a lot. He's still, I imagine he'll watch it. But like, it was kind of a joke.
I'm
for a long time.
so
He just didn't
over
get it.
this
Canadian kids don't seem to
interview.
embrace the show as much as American kids do. I mean,
Normally I
obviously
wouldn't
the
do
ratings
this,
in
but this
Canada
is just like
are stronger than the ratings
genuinely
down
so
below
boring.
because the noggin is kind of it is what it is. It's
But
kids.
they wanted to add
They
it.
have great
They
numbers, but,
said
like,
this was behind the scene
you would
footage.
imagine that
They said this was what's up.
the show would be embraced by every Canadian. I know a kid, Malcolm Anger, a friend of mine, grew up with this show on TV.
So I
Grew
know
up in
Canada.
Oakville, and still wouldn't embrace the show. And I was like, dude, you grew up here. You could have watched every brand new episode. Bah. I said, dude, bah, no.
Bah,
It's
humbug,
too close to
humbug.
home, maybe. I don't know. Maybe people don't like to see themselves reflected like that. I think it's
Can't
the
even see
idea
it.
that the show holds a mirror up, right? And it's not a funhouse mirror. It's a mirror, so you get an accurate reflection. And I think that's so novel on American television, where people see themselves actually represented, that, yeah, it's easy to embrace. I can totally understand why not only, like, the tweener kids, but people who are beyond high school at this point, or even in high school to some degree, could embrace the show because they could see themselves in it in a way that they don't see themselves in that.
He said this like 9
show that's
times,
set
or
on
am
the
I
mountaintop,
crazy?
you know, that's airing on the WB this year. That'll last
Ba
about,
da
you
ba
know, 2
ba
months,
ba
and then
ba
gone.
ba da ba
The
ba.
disposable television. So,
fuck?
and that's how you breed
Ba da ba ba
hardcore
ba
freaks,
ba da
you
ba
know, that
ba
stick
ba.
around and spread the word and whatnot.
Oh my
And
god, what is that?
doing a mall tour was a genius idea because not only is it great for promotion of the show,
The
but it's a real
fuck?
litmus test to see how you're impacted.
Da ba da ba
And
ba
hearing
ba.
that like 500, 1,000, 2,000 people will show up for a show that's not on any of the 3 major networks. That's huge. That's huge. The show's obviously having a big impact.
Yup.
So
Yup, it's a
it was so
show.
strange. I've been,
It is a show.
it was just you know, a few Canadians sitting around going like, yeah, they're them damn kids again. They're always on my TV. Get off the TV and get off the mall stage, eh? Hate them kids. Crazy. Always with the problems, eh? 40, there they go.
I wonder what episode of Degrassi High is on this TV right over
years,
here.
yeah, because kids will forever be going to high school. And the kids will forever be having problems and permutations of the same problems year after year.
What the fuck do you think
So can it
Degrassi
go
is
on?
about, dog?
Where will it go in 25 years? I personally would love it if they kept, like, there was always a kid or two who stuck around to teach in the school. Because I think that happens. There are kids who I went to school with who actually wound up teaching at my high school. So it's not like, oh, that's so fictional.
Okay, I agree with that
The show.
point. That's a good
kinda
point.
happens. Some people kind of fall in love
Or just
with
stay in the
idea
greater
that-
Degrassi universe type
or,
situation.
being that person for somebody younger that, you know, somebody was to you. when
Have
you
a snake.
so it'd be great, like just as Snake came back and taught, it'd be great if, you know, Toby came back and taught or something like that, or, you know, and it just kind of, it went on and the cycle never ended. I think Kevin Smith should probably retire from American filmmaking in the 25-year version, 25 years from now, and become the teacher, the guy who raps with the kids, and the kids are fine because they're like, well,
That
he's not
sucks
me.
because the
What
show's
is-
not
what do you
on.
think? What is it?
Fucking
What is it
drowning in
teaching?
reruns.
Do you know how much teaching pays in Canada? Like that kind of thing. He creeps the kids out, but he's always trying to help. And it could take, you know, a weird thing like that. Degrassi used to be about something, and now it's just about scary adults who aren't from here, who want to hang out with high school kids because they miss it so badly. Like that dude's 58, you know, and he's still trying to sort out their problems, and he's living in a 1-bedroom, you know, over in Kitchener. Drives like 45 minutes to get to work every day, maybe more than that, 2 hours, I don't know. And to just they don't even pay him. He's not really employed here. We've tried to throw him out. He just shows up. That's the Degrassi that I would like to see, the really creepy one. That's how I'd like to ride out my years and the rest of my life and stuff. People are like, whatever happened to the Clerks guy? It's like, I think he muscled his way into the Degrassi, the 8th generation. Like, get out of here. That's kind
He
of sick.
definitely did. Holy mac and cheese it. Oh, 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 oh. That was subjectively long. Holy freaking crap. I don't know why they included this, but there's literally like trailers and stuff, and one of them is like some weird quadriplegic thing. I don't even know how to explain it. We'll show that another time. So I don't know why, but they included a bunch of weird little trailers. One of them's like a full episode of some off anime. It almost looks like something someone would do for a project, but we're gonna end it off with the Degrassi trailer that was supposed to be for this season, and they look so much younger than what was in the movies. I don't know why the hell they even included this trailer, but
So you know that Mr. Simpson and I have been friends for a long time.
Yeah, and he's been here all the time lately.
We're more than just friends, Em. We've been dating each other.
Be responsible means
she said, "What the
being prepared.
JT, you do not need extra.
please, JT,
Gavin.
more hormones."
Yeah, sorry, Miss Tacos. I hate facts, okay? What they do makes me sick.
Whoa!
College under there.
Whoa.
Wow, I forgot about that episode.
Here.
Don't wrestle.
There's a gym full of people out there waiting for me. And I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win.
He said, I have ED, fuck.
You been drinking?
No.
I saw.
Oh, I know. I'm glad Craig got out of that. See, I was such a douche.
I got your eyes.
Take it slow, okay?
Ooh, yeah.
No.
Wow. Intense.
Yo. Oh, damn. From Funimation. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Wild. Yeah. What a ride, babies. Okay, so that's all she wrote, babes. I hope you enjoyed it for what it was. Those extras were just such a drag. I am so sorry to subject you to that, but hey, there you go. Now you saw the behind the scenes footage that they were so proud of. I genuinely cannot get over that rant. That was fucking disgusting. So, have a great day. Hope the sun is shining because I can't talk. And if not, I hope it's raining gloriously with a little bit of like, you know what I mean? I just hope it's good weather all around. Have a great day, babes. Bye.
What? When? Where? Who? What? When? Where? And why?